Welcome everyone to D6, where I, RGM, bring together some friends from across the internet to play on a D&D live stream show.
Wow, that was such a cool cube. Who 3D rendered that?
I don't know. It sounds like a really cool person.
the cool cube that nobody actually really sees until like the actual stream. So before we get on into tonight's game, I'm gonna regard a quick couple of things. First off, we have a guest tonight.
Yeah, hello.
A guest?
Yeah, hello.
How about?
Can't wait for this reveal. Second off, Daito will be a bit late this session, mainly because some time stuff is going on. But he'll be here relatively soon, so there is that. And so as I've mentioned before, our podcast episodes are all up. We got all of our podcast episodes finally fully uploaded. If you guys want to go ahead, check them out. We have them all on our platforms, Spotify, iTunes, as well, or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, respectively. If you want to catch up on any of our episodes, then by all means, there will be a link down below, not just only for the Twitch streams, but also for our YouTube streams and videos. So if you're trying to catch up to the content without having to watch the whole song and dance, by all means. Next up is Gamer Subs, who continues to support us. I don't have anything to show today, but if you guys are interested in getting waifu cups or particular flavors that you want, so that way you can drink more water, then you can head on over to gamersubs.gg/shienpai, and if you use the code shienpai, you will get 10% off of your final order. I recently have been drinking titty milk.
We're back to this again.
It's a great flavor, you guys. It doesn't look like cum.
Mommy approve.
I'm gonna keep sending this to J-Slat until he responds.
Spoiler. He won't.
Yeah, he really won't. It's just funny. So, that being said, I don't think we have anything else. I guess we can go ahead and jump on into tonight's episode, yeah?
Yee.
Alrighty. Oh, fuck, I almost forgot. One more announcement. My apologies. Thanks to the wonderful people over at Critical Role, first off, they have released a brand new album, which is the Welcome to Wildmount album, which they have given permission to any of those who are streaming their D&D projects to use this music. So you might hear some familiar music from the Wildmount campaign, as well as the Wildmount album. And so I just want to give a huge thank you to Critical Role and Scanlan Hall Music as well.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. So, just want to acknowledge that on the upfront. Alrighty, let us get into D6. So, where we had last left off. So our adventurers finally make their way to Celsium, which is Citra's homeland. You all find yourselves imbrued in a lot of family matters, as well as being delegates to represent the Adamantine Bastion while you are here. After a very interesting conversation at the Church of Erithus, meeting Citra's grandfather, the Archbishop Deus Idlewind, as well as Dante getting into some trouble at the docks and quickly being resolved with the help of Dredger, you all meet up with Taryn, who is Citra's father. Am I saying that right? Taryn? Tarian. Sorry.
It's all good.
Sorry, I keep reading the name and I keep...
I'm just gonna sit there quietly judging.
Yeah. And you all head to the palace of the Sultan, as he is the Royal Guard's captain. After a long night of a conversation of hiding secrets and explaining what has been going on, you all are still on the hunt for Saviden, the Lich. Everyone proposing their own version of help. At the end of the night, you all find rest before being attacked by sand-like assassins, unleashing Sov in the middle of the night, and quickly also turning Sov against their own party members. After being calmed by Citra's mother, you all find out more information as to how Sov became sealed, and quickly find yourselves at the behest of the Sultan, where he apologizes for what had happened the night beforehand. As you all stand there, as he begins to conclude on the notion that you should begin to talk about who could have been the potential threat here. You guys might have some ideas, or perhaps await for an answer. That's where we had left off. So,
Music's slightly loud. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh no, you're fine. Maybe I'm low.
Thank you.
So. There we go. Hopefully that's better.
Oh, much better. Now I can hear you.
Okay. So, as you all stand there within this, within the main throne room here, what do you do?
Well, we don't really know who could have tried this. We've only been here for like, what, a day?
Yeah, which is also incredibly suspicious because, well, what y'all don't know was that the elemental spoke to Citra when it stabbed her, saying you should not have come back, so they knew that she somehow came back right then and there.
Ew.
So Citra would kind of like look about and then, I guess, mention the one thing that was concerning is that, well, these seemed like elementals. They have to be summoned into the place that they need them to be, so either someone had a very detailed idea of the inside of that house or was nearby summoning them. Mm-hmm. And she looked to the Sultan because, without breaking the promise of admitting she saw him sneaking around and got hit by her boomerang, he was out there that night. And then she just kind of paused and not sure if she wants to mention it, but she's, as she said, tired of secrets. She just let out a breath and just, this is the third time this has happened.
You can see as both your parents immediately snap their head towards you.
When I left, they attacked me again. They knew I left, and they now know I came back.
See, your father has a certain rage behind his eyes, and your mother is currently grasping towards her chest, trying to figure out what to say about this, because it feels like they don't know how to control the situation. As far as you can tell, as per your history with your parents.
Yeah. Citra kind of remembers what happened the first time. They seemed human, and then the second time they were still human. This time it was elementals. So they're probably trying to hide any kind of way to track who it is. Is a live person can get caught and interrogated. Elementals just gone.
you can see one of the viziers as they walk towards the Sultan. You can see as they whisper into their ear before he looks up. We have a guest who will be joining us shortly. Seems like somebody that might have answers. And you can see as another vizier leans in. Make that 3.
3?
3 guests. As you can see as he waves his hand, you can see as the people that pull open and close the doors, as they open them, you can see as 3 sizable figures, one being much shorter than the other 2.
Small.
Yeah. As the first that enters is a familiar face to you, Citra. A Deus Idlewind, as he is slowly, as an old man, elven man would, with the large staff, as you can hear it clink on the hardened floor, as well as what looks like to be this very Celsium well-dressed woman with very dark skin, bright yellow hair, these jewel topaz-like eyes, the face slightly covered in this yellow veil, and just walking with purpose, as well as what looks like to be this very cloaked but heavily dark-skinned, white-haired elven individual, to which, Uzu, would you like to introduce your character?
Hey.
Yeah. So, there is, this drow that walks in, and she walks in kind of using actually a spear instead of a staff, kind of like as a walking stick, and on the top of it is this very large, sharp tooth of unknown origin. And she has like these long robes that are kind of just wrapped around her with these gold accents on it, and she's just looking around, just like, wow, this is a really big place.
Citra's just immediately like waving because it's Citra.
She immediately like just perks up and like also just excitedly waves back.
Game knows game.
You see as Deus finally steps forward. My Sultan, a concern have been brought to the matter of my presence being necessary, as I had also found these 2 at the gates, along with a certain prize that needed to be won. It is also a personal matter to all of you. Son. Sees Tyrion looking at his own father with certain disgust. You see as this large woman slightly bows. My Sultan, I am Camilla Callion. I had been let known last night that your palace had been assaulted, and thus had brought employ to my ally here, Elwyn, to hunt down our perpetrator. And in swiftness, she did. As moving aside, you can see what looks like to be a body wrapped in ropes and currently being held tightly by the bounty that Elwyn had captured. We had much suspicion of this one, but to further proof of his guilt, she takes something off the side of her belt with what looks like to be this little canter of an item in like pure gold and glass. You can see in the center what looks like to be a small sandstorm in the center of it. the source of your assassins, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were made out of sand. Quite a few of them.
So you see the Sultan stand up. He looks towards you, Elwyn, as he's like, if you would.
She bows and then can kind of go forward.
Dragging the perpetrator behind you.
Yep.
As you throw him towards the foot of the steps, you can see with what looks like to be much like the same colored hair as your father, Citra. See another very dark-skinned, half-elven ears, and a look on his face of pure disgust at this room.
You said he looks like her father, or just has, like, similarities?
Like, has the same hair as your father.
Ah.
Yeah, the same color gradient as well.
Yeah. She'd be looking between the two, very confused.
As this one is kind of like trying to bring his head up from the floor, and he looks up towards your father. Oh, then. It's good to see you again, father. Brother.
What?
He's trying to completely ignore you, Citra.
He's... Sorry, sorry to pause, but I keep hearing a something going on in the background.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a constant, like, ting, ting,
Yeah.
ting, ting. Sorry. So,
Oops.
he is her brother, or that's her father's brother?
Father's brother, your uncle.
Okay, got it. Okay, that I totally, like, brain farted.
Oh, that's an unexpected reunion.
That's quite basically been this whole trip so far. And she just kind of, like, shakes her head and looks back to her dad, confused. I didn't know I had an uncle.
It was probably for the best. Considering that he still believes in the old ways. You see the man as he kind of twists around, looking at the rest of you. Ah, yes. A court. Filled with nothing but half-breeds and mudbloods. Tainting this land.
Them's are
I hit him with the bottom of my spear.
And as you do, you can see he's just knocked back onto the ground.
Citra just kind of raises her hand, like, she's not a fan of just violence, but she also kind of gets why they're doing it.
Can Dante do divine sense?
Sure. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for evil in this room.
Divine sense doesn't particularly work that way.
It says you can detect good and evil.
That's the spell, Detect Good and Evil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, I guess I can either detect a celestial, fiend, or undead.
Yeah. For the sake of the purpose of you using divine sense in this, you detect a couple of celestials in here. Both your Citra's father, the Sultan, and
Sultan?
as per fiends, you can detect Citra's mother and as well as Citra. Well, Citra being more aberration than anything else, but it's still celestial fiend blood being mixed.
Oh. Oh, this is interesting.
This whole room is spicy.
As this half-elven man, as he's currently being pinned to the ground by the staff. What's worse is being caught by one.
I grounded in a bit. And just a little bit of a smile, just like,
See, as Camilla comes over, that's enough. I think he will end up learning his lesson a bit harder in a moment. She kind of putting the hand on your shoulder.
Take it off.
So you're saying the source of those elementals came from him?
He was probably commanding them. Of course, this canter is old magic. It is used to combine both elemental of earth and wind. Having summoned such powerful forces is considered a useful tool. One that should have been returned back to the Sultan when he claimed his throne. And you can see as the Sultan stands up, hopefully to offer as a gift. But not just only this meeting. Let's see.
So either... That would have to mean that he's done this. He's the source of this 3 times in a row.
As you can see as the head twists over towards you, Citra, and I would do it again.
Yeah, Citra obviously looks really twisted up right now.
As you can see as Terran steps down, I've had enough of this, Kyle. You have gone down this path for far too long, and I am tired of you assaulting my family. Before he turns over. Oh, and what were we? Nothing to you. You ran off to Sansabar, decided to get married to some thing. As you can see, reaching for his blade, almost as if ready to kill his own brother.
Yeah, Citra would actually step between them. She's like, violence isn't going to answer anything. And she's looking straight at her dad, and then just... She'll look to her uncle, lightly, and then to her mom, just kind of like trying to calm things down without that spell, so...
You've gotten so big.
Well, that's what happens when you grow.
You were much easier to try and kill last time.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dante's gonna throw a fucking ball at his head. Just one single fucking marble.
It's just a ball.
And that
pit
you
somewhere.
still couldn't manage that.
By the way, Buddha is also in the room, just so you know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, one ball bearing down.
The Sun Sens committed to themselves like they were supposed to, we wouldn't be having tieflings running around the way that they do now.
Repeat that again.
The Sun Sens committed themselves like they were supposed to. Tieflings, half-breeds, mudbloods wouldn't be running around like they do now. As Dea steps over, enough!
Wait. No, wait. Brawl steps in his face. I said, repeat that again.
As it seems like this is starting to get very intense.
Just a bit. Just a little spicy.
Yeah. As you're stepping into his face, you can see that there is still disgust on it.
You kind of look at Camilla and like I've like kind of taken out a caterpillar cocoon. It's just like, can I polymorph him? So then he can't talk anymore?
What's the matter, buddy? You seem to look a little upset. How about I fix that for you?
Citra would tap him on the shoulder like, not the right moment, but thank you.
This guy insulted you, Tifa. I mean,
She's now Tifa
I mean, come on. She technically she is a Tifa. She technically she is a Tifa. Yeah, Tifa.
You're right.
Basically, Tifa.
Yeah. Citra. This guy is all you, Citra.
I know, and he's not the first.
As the Sultan stands up and he begins to walk down these steps. Please, disperse, all of you.
Yeah. Citra would actually take Daito, Buddha's hand to try and pull him away. Just like a quiet please.
Dante hasn't really even moved.
And she just squeezed the hand a little bit, like it's a quiet thank you. She's just, this isn't gonna get them anywhere, and it's getting real uncomfortable.
As
Brought back
the Sultan... Alright. As all of you kind of take a step back, as the Sultan leans down, I will have you reminded that my word here is law. Your life is in my hand. And you can see as the hand reaches towards the throat and picks him up and raises him up to his feet before now dangling off his feet as he raises him as high as he can.
Woo.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Dante's swooning a little.
I think everybody is.
Shit, I didn't have to do anything.
The Sultan holding Mikhail there. This is their home, just as much as it is yours and mine. And I returned here so long ago in order to make our lands progressive. I gave my word to do anything to promote that. And yet you come here into my palace, in my home, my people, and you attempt to kill them for self-righteousness. As he looks towards your father, what would I have do with him? Looking towards you, Citra. He is still blood. And then towards Deus. Is he worth keeping?
Taking a life isn't going to fix what he did. And would honestly... keeping him around and hopefully things might change in time and making up for what he's done is probably the better answer. Death doesn't do anything.
You see as the head kind of slightly turns. I don't need your mercy!
And she'd look up at him with the... She looks upset, but she's actually pretty stern. That mimics her mom's face.
And Tyrion steps over a bit. He has been a persistent threat to my family. He is no brother of mine. I care not what you do with him. So Deus comes over. You can see it almost as if the shades are now beginning to change in the face.
Is it bright red?
It's getting to red. It'll be slowly turning to purple soon. As Deus looks at his son. The laws have changed. Our faith reflects that. The fact that you still consider yourself of the old ways, committing yourself to heinous ideals as they stand. You are no son of mine. You are not of the Sun Sands. You see as there is, for the first time, true disappointment on the face of this man. And you see as the Sultan turns back towards you, Citra. So it would be mercy to him.
Yeah. I don't believe in anyone really having say over one's life in the sense of casting death upon them. And I guess in another way, death would probably be an easy way out for the things he's done.
You see as the hand loosens and he's dropped to the floor as he goes and sees the Sultan almost standing over him. From this day forth, may law be placed. You, Mikhail Idlewind, will work these lands. You will suffer as all those who had suffered, as you had done to them. You will be subject to these people. You will do anything that they ask when they ask it, and you will die when I tell you to die. Do you understand me? As he's looking up. Fuck you. I'm sure you'll come to see in time. It is now long. You see as one of the viziers, like, quickly writing down.
Just quickly write it. Get that down, get that down.
Yeah.
It is law.
I feel that as what my job actually is.
As he waves his hand, you can see as some of the other royal guardsmen come quickly to grasp him. I think a solid month within the jail will teach him a good lesson to start with, after which he'll be considered a serf to one of our viziers until further notice. He will never have a weapon in hand, he will never cast another spell, and we will assure that. You will be treated like trash till you've earned your right to humanity. You see he is dragged off, he's cursing and screaming towards all of you.
The moment he's out of the room, Citra would let go of Buddha's hand, but she looks like she's just covering her mouth because she feels a little sick after all that. She's had it a little rough for the past 24 hours.
You right there, Citra?
No. It's one thing to be hated by strangers, it's another to find out your own blood wants you dead.
I suppose that will conclude this matter within the court. As he looks towards his viziers and he waves, you can see as they all slowly begin to disperse. See as he climbs up to his throne, he sits down heavily. That matter solved. I would hope that all of you would forgive my rather unsightly nature.
You forgave me for hitting you in the head.
And you see as your father quickly snaps towards you again, and your mother going, "What?"
It was an accident.
You what?
It was Citra's way, basically, of trying to get the tension to drop a little bit.
Elowen giggles.
It was an accident.
And you can see as he's like slightly rubbing his head. A mistake, nonetheless. See as Carmilla steps over.
If I may, my Sultan.
She's the one we were supposed to find, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tanti's gonna
Yeah.
pull out the rock.
She's not giving full acknowledgement to you guys just yet.
There are things brewing within your kingdom that need to be dealt with. Of course, much of my allies are more than welcome to assist should you so desire. In this notion, I would like to have a private conversation with the Azure Crest, if you will. Elowen, I recommend you stay.
Okay.
If there is anything of need, you're more than welcome to reach out towards the Cobalt organization. We've helped kings before.
He's kind of tended towards that. Very well. You may use the throne for this meeting. As he looks towards Tyrion, I believe this might also be a concerning private matter. You should speak to your daughter while you can. See that heavy look on his face. Before the Sultan rises and leaves the room. As Camilla looks towards all of you.
I believe my message was sent, but not exactly adhered to.
Dante pulling out the rock. I got caught up in trafficking. And also, you made me pay so much for this. Why don't you just, roll up and say, hello, I'm Camilla.
I like to keep my distance the best I can.
You said Cobalt, as in, the Cobalt Soul?
No, the Cobalt Organization and the Cobalt Soul are two separate entities.
Ah, okay.
There have been times we have worked together.
It's nice to finally meet you.
Yes. I've heard so much from Alois.
And also looking towards you, Citra.
And you have grown so big.
You know me? Oh, right. No one in this group has told Citra what Mom has said yet. She was unconscious.
Yes, it has been quite some time.
I'm sorry, I don't quite remember you. I apologize. She looks a little embarrassed.
Dante's getting a little uncomfy.
Location.
I'm sure all of you have your tentative natures towards Alois, given his necessity towards secrecy. But I am not so closed off as the Sapphire King is.
Hmm.
Alright, so what are we doing now?
Well, we're still supposed to be looking for Saviden, but unfortunately you guys got totally wrapped up in my, not so nice family business. I'm so sorry.
As far as I am aware, Saviden, as well as another target, one that I have yet to provide that information towards Alois here, is heading towards Sansabar.
Another target?
Yes, my friend here is a bounty hunter, one that hunts down many members of the Red Hour who have spread their webs far out of both Alanon and Wallenstein. We have reached here within Excelsior.
Oh, goody.
The Red Hour.
Red Hour.
Can I roll history to know if I know what the Red Hour is?
Same with me.
Sure. This would be close history towards you, Eloise. You know who the Red Hour is.
Eloise or Elowin?
Elwyn, sorry.
Yeah,
Eloise is your mother.
I'm I know about them. I'm just letting them do a roll first, and if they don't get it, then I was gonna tell them about it anyways.
Just call Citra's mom Ellie at this point.
Okay.
That's a fat 6.
11.
So Dante, I mean, you've heard the name a couple of times, especially within Wallenstein, given that the Underpass Gate is kind of related to them. But, bruh, you probably know a little bit more. You've heard them try and invade Yimden back in the old days, while your father was still the head of the people that pretty much run the guards within the nation. They were swiftly stamped out. These were drows in their day that separated from Eliestre when she became the goddess of the drow, and the Red Hour believe in the old faiths of Lolth, which is the dead spider god that was once the drows' representative in their godhood. So in this essence, drow hunting drows is kind of unheard of, but this is a very particular kind of situation, given their relationship to Eliastrade.
Never thought I'd hear that more again.
You know of them?
Yeah, back in England they tried to invade it, but my father took them out.
Oh.
But...
I'm sorry that you had to deal with that.
Yeah, past is past, but still interesting that they're causing ruckus around here.
Well, they're very desperate to try to bring back the
Moth?
Loth. Yeah. They're very desperate to bring back Loth and the ways of the old bitch of a god, so they can't really find it in their old homelands anymore, and so they try to bring it to other places.
Well, before this gets more depressing, Citra just holds her hands up. I'm Citra, by the way.
Oh, I'm Elowen.
It's nice to meet you. They're just the Smalls.
Yeah. Takes hand and shakes.
And I'm Dante. Just Dante.
Okay.
Bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Leodon, but most people just call me Leo.
Oh, okay. I'm Elowen Kaladi, but you can just call me Elowen. Or Elo, or Ellie. Whatever nickname that you want.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Hello. Hello.
And as your mother steps over, I think I might know a little on the matter of Sansabar, given that being my hometown.
Yeah.
And you see as Dea steps over, I had initially promised that I would use the Sun Sands to assist in this matter. Your father steps over, I will not be having that. She is my daughter, my responsibility, and it was my intention to also help her with the Saviden case.
Can we not talk about me like I'm not right here and an adult?
As your father and grandfather look back towards you. Your mother, kind of just stepping between the two. Okay, two. Pats both their chest. You're both very pretty, but I think the decision shouldn't ultimately be between you two and whose resources are bigger. Dick sizes are plenty to show enough.
It's gonna ultimately come down to what's probably gonna be the best route of action and the less amount of probably destruction and violence.
Given the notion that I find with this whole scenario, I would prefer that neither the Royal Guard or the Sun Swords to be involved in this matter. Both are far too prejudiced.
Okay.
You can see as both of them kind of look towards Camilla.
Oh, please, boys.
Citra is aware of the notion of what happens over there and what people have been seeking out, so she kind of understands and agrees with Camilla in that sense to want to just kind of keep people out who have a stake in whatever might be over there.
In regards to that, Eloise, you are from Sansabar, as you had noted. Perhaps a return home might be of pertinent value.
And she begins to think on that. It wouldn't be an easy travel, but I could get them there.
I just don't want you to get hurt and mixed up on all this either, though.
Your father, as he steps over, I should go as well. At least be with my family. See as Deus looks over and ignore your duties here within the court. See as his face becomes sour once again. And what of your duties?
Can we
At the church.
please not fight?
Alright, so it seems like we're having a pissing contest here, so maybe somebody other than Citra should choose.
Please?
Maybe Leodon.
Nah, bruh, I think you should take over on this one.
Why me?
Wait, no, I didn't think I'd get this far.
You do remember that
wait.
Leodon is kind of leading the charge on this, given your boss's command.
I've been designated the leader of this little expedition.
Technically, you've been the leader of this big-ass expedition since it started.
Dante snapping his fingers. Ah, shit. At least bro would have made it fun if he was leading.
You already know.
I can be fun when the situation calls for it.
No, you're not. No, you haven't. You haven't done any. You haven't made any fun decisions.
Citra is standing
Your
there
definition
between
of
the
fun
other
is
people
breaking things and getting high.
Yeah, that's fun.
Citra's just slowly watching this with the farthest stare ever, like, oh boy, everyone's fighting now. This
I
is
pat
fine.
Citra on the back.
Just
All
whispers,
right.
thank you.
So, the decision is basically who's coming with us.
Yep.
Yup.
Sure.
Eloise steps over. I can at least get you that. And I do have certain familial things to handle. And
Don't.
Citra, I do think it's also time that you should learn our story.
If you feel it's right to do this now.
Better late than never.
True.
And we could also have an ally who seems like they might know their way around here. I hope you're not too affected by the burning sunlights of our land.
Oh, no, not at all.
I mean, technically, Citra could be a giant walking umbrella for most.
No, it's okay. See, let's see here. Is there like a window that has like sunlight coming in, or like what time of day is it?
It's bright in the morning.
Right in
It's
the
a-
morning. So is there a
yeah.
window?
There are like the windows that kind of come up and along the top side of the throne room as they kind of just shine down.
Hmm. So, like, Elowen is just like, oh no, it's no problem. As like she just goes over and hops into like one of the rays of sun, and as she hops into it, suddenly her hair turns black, and her bright like purple eyes turn, like her irises turn black. Is like, my mother's made an item for me to help me in the sunlight.
That is so cool. Like, Citra is like flabbergasted right now.
And also, I believe, blessed by the moonlight goddess. Correct?
Uh-huh. She just does like a little wave like of her robe that is around her.
Quite interesting. Well then. I will probably join you all for your travels much later. I can find my way to Sansabar quite easily. However, there are certain matters within Bulbaka that needs to be administered to first.
So we'll be meeting you there?
Correct. Worry not, I'm much older than Alois.
It's Citra's like, are you sure about that? Look!
Damn.
Yeah, given her general form, she's by the way, she stands somewhere close to around 7 feet tall. She is a massive woman.
Damn.
This big lady.
Giant woman!
Massive 7 feet
Lord.
tall Amazon is just standing next to this 5-foot drow.
Yeah.
Oh, so the drow is shorter than Citra.
Yes.
Yeah. And keep in mind, it is for this dressing. A lot of skin is mostly exposed, but you can kind of tell that this is somebody that loves living in this kind of environment.
You kind of have to like living here to live here.
Yeah.
So, will I be seeing you later as well?
Yes, my friend. I promise I will be within quick haste, and we can also solve your immediate problem as soon as we make our way to Sansabar.
Nods. And she looks towards the group. Well then, I hope you all won't mind if I stick around with you guys.
No, we're just sorry that things might get a little bumpy.
More friends, more friends,
Friends.
more friends.
More friends.
Honestly, we could use the help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Citra just eventually sits down because she is exhausted and now both emotionally and physically.
Well then, I hope all of you can pack and supply yourselves before making your way there. Should you need me, I'll be here for a few moments longer before I need to go speak with the Sultan. But by all means, converse among yourselves.
As you see, she walks towards where the corner area is, where the door is nearby, where she might take her leave very soon. So if there's anything you need to ask of her, you're more than welcome to.
No, I think Citra would just kind of lean over to Leo going, how on earth is she older than Asher? Now that we know who he is.
For all I know, she could be.
How old are you guys?
26.
28?
25.
50.
I'm 102.
I'm sorry.
Ah,
Elves, man, elves!
102!
Yeah, I can believe it. Elves usually live a long time.
We also did meet a Firbolg that was clearly over 1,000 before.
No, he was closer to around 250. He was really weird.
Yeah. This old man.
from what I understand, Firbolgs live a long time, as do most elves.
Mm-hmm.
So, still quite not used to it, being raised in an orphanage and all.
Citra is unsure how long she is going to live being a weird creature. Just like existential crisis for 2 seconds, like, wait a minute.
You know, you all seem pretty stressed, and, well, I was dealing with trying to find that guy.
Well, considering
Maybe we
I
should
was
all
the
get
target
something
of
to
an
eat?
assassination, yes.
Yes.
So, what were you gonna say, Ella?
Sorry.
How about we sit down and eat?
Ah, food.
That is a splendid idea.
Yeah. While they're
Think
talking
you'll
about
fit
that,
right in.
Citra's just gonna, like, quietly walk over to her mom and just give her a hug, because it's just been a fucking trip so far.
She hugs you back.
I guess I can make some rather decent food and also pack up before we all have to leave.
She'd look up at her mom with the
she's
biggest
cooking?
eyes, like, please?
Yes.
Firbolg ear twitches. Oh, she's cooking. Then yes, we are eating.
Well, I might be a rather astute scholar. That doesn't mean I'm not also a housewife.
Mom, you've always made good food. Always.
And I hope that our ally here will enjoy some fine Celsian cuisine.
Oh, I bet she will.
Put it in my journal.
As both your father and your grandfather are kind of just like standing like almost a room apart. As for you two, Deus, you're welcome to at least breakfast, but don't stay long. You see as your grandfather rolls his eyes a bit. Tarion, try and mend something. And as you are all led off back to the small small, I guess, additional room or house that is within the palace. You see is the entire living room either covered in sand or the large gashes that had been left behind the night beforehand with what had happened.
Yeah. Citra would immediately start trying to help with at least the mage hand stuff to get stuff handled.
I guess I'll just start cooking and preparing.
We'll start casting mending.
Yep.
Dante will summon Virgil to use his wings to beat the sand out the windows.
He's now a feather duster.
Virgil looks to the camera. It's a living!
Oh man.
So, I'll go ahead and let you guys have a bit of time amongst yourselves to talk and discuss.
Yeah. Citra would probably still have a moment seeing all, like, the damage, and she'd look back at the group going, like, you're sure I didn't do any of this to you, right?
No,
No.
you didn't.
Okay.
Insight check.
Oh no.
Can I?
I want to do insight check.
Yeah, to whoever wants to insight the rest of the party, Leodon and Dante, both of you roll deception, given the...
17!
It's not a lie,
It's not deception.
but it's not a
I know,
lie,
but I
it's a
don't
half
know.
lie. It's a half lie, you kind of know.
Citra is aware when she blacks out, Sav is basically losing his shit and things get violent.
20,
So-
suck it.
I believe them. I'm gonna
Fuck
keep
you, I'm
on
lying.
cleaning.
Well, I mean, you didn't get attacked, so technically you're in the clear.
I technically did. I got thrown on my ass.
Goro was the one that got straight up attacked. Twice.
Burrow didn't say anything.
No, he did. He said, no, everything was fine last time. Before they left for the Sultan.
Oh yeah, well, Burrow did roll a deception last time.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Wait, what was your number, Leo?
I'm not deceiving. Leo firmly believes that this is not Citra's fault.
It's
Oh.
Sav.
Yeah.
Leo is very sus of Sav right now, not Citra.
Okay. And you
Do you do sleep
firmly
attacks?
believe at least Dante and Leodon kind of just giving the straight answer as possible. You get a feeling it's not your fault. You
Yeah.
definitely know.
She'll be like, okay then, and just continue to clean up. It's just the patterns, man.
Yeah.
Do you do things in your sleep?
She'd look at the group. Should we tell them so it's not as weird?
May as well, at this point.
Yeah.
There's no real need to keep secrets.
In some of this case, anyway. So, I have a separate kind of personality or being within me, and he tends to pop out when things are really bad, and I can't control my own fear. His name is Sav. He leans more towards violent protection, whereas I'm more of the Mercy and Healy kind of protection. And last night got really bad. I got locked out of my own consciousness.
That's not good.
No. I'm not a monster, I promise you. It's...
Oh, I don't think
like-
you're a monster.
Thank you. It's just a person, a complete stranger going, I think you're great. Just like, huh? Ow,
Like-
my heart.
I don't think that you're a monster. You know, I just think that it's, well, part of me thinks that it's a bit sad that you have to have another entity protect you, but I also feel a bit bad because, well, it seems that they're very violent.
Yeah. They can be. They've been pretty tame up until about last night.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm fairly certain the reason he popped out last night was strictly because of what happened, and last I remember was a lot of pain, so he popped
Elowen
out.
kind of like brings out a journal and kind of like goes through it. Would I have, like, through my travels, would I have heard of anything that is similar to like this?
Make a history check.
Cool, +0. Let's go. Wait,
You
hold
got
on,
this.
can
I've got faith in you.
Hold on, I have a thing that I can do.
Guidance?
I gotta make sure if I can do it on myself. So, I have a thing where I can basically give good luck or bad luck, but I have to check if it's within your ruling, if I can do it on myself. So, it's basically my cosmic omen. Whenever a creature that you can see within 30 feet of you is about to make an attack roll, saving throw, or an ability check, you use your reaction to add a d6. Would I be able to add that to myself?
A creature you can see is the text, yeah?
Can you see
Yes.
yourself?
So the way that describes
Can you see yourself?
Well, the way that is described is that rules is written, it is towards somebody else. It's kind of like you're helping somebody, but when it comes to yourself, I'm gonna say no. Yeah.
I mean, I could
Okie
just
dokie.
tap her with guidance.
You're more than welcome to.
Yeah. Usually, when an effect would include yourself, it will say in
You
the
and then others,
description.
yeah.
Yeah, I just...
Yeah, it'll say a target you can see, including yourself.
All right,
I'm
so
just
you're gonna
making
add.
sure, so I like to check.
All right, so you're gonna add an additional D4 to that history check for you.
Well, roll a d4 for it anyway.
Okie dokie. Okay, history. Oh, that's 11, and then let me roll my d4. 12!
Well, this doesn't sound familiar, even with Elias Trey kind of telling the stories of the past, especially her long past, given she was brought back during the calamity with Tiamat. There is much that isn't known. A lot of hidden history and a lot of things that aren't often told. Even if you heard a name, a race, and anything that could potentially be this scenario, it is far beyond you.
Okay. So yeah, he just doesn't find anything in her journal, and she's like, goes to the end of it and just kind of starts writing down.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Citra would remind herself that she hadn't really tried to see if Sav is okay, and she just kind of like quietly while she's cleaning, try to see if she can hear him. Just trying to reach out to make sure he's okay.
You can hear crying. You can hear fear. You can hear, I'm sorry, 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 over and over again.
Can she try to comfort him without having to go fully like unconscious to talk with them? Just like send like a comforting like it's okay.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. 16?
Okay. There's a little bit, it's a little cold comfort when you think about the entity that is Sav. They are wild emotion. They're very volatile. And while the I'm sorry stops a bit, silence prolongs and then it goes. I don't know what to do.
Can she answer him or no? Because I think
Not without having to fall deeply into your subconscious, but unfortunately, there's just silence at that point.
She just kind of give a concerned look back to the group, just kind of like, oh boy.
Them's the breaks.
Yep. Sutra would go back to, like, I guess trying to buff out the burn marks on the wall.
Yeah. As all of you kind of come to conclusion of this conversation, you're met with bright-smelling foods, some naan bread, plenty of things to eat, even some cut fruit, and smoked sausages, mostly. Not exactly sure what beast from this land could have produced this, but it smells good.
Sutra don't ask questions to her mom's cooking.
Oh, yeah. Because she's all like, well, all of you please eat up as much as you can. As the front door finally swings open violently before being slammed closed. Oh boy, here we go.
Are they fighting again?
Your father, like, walking in and just currently placing down the blade and the shield and just...
Dante speaks up. What's up, Daddy-O? Poppy giving you problems?
Wow.
It is unbelievable that is the first thing to come to mind and for you to say.
Sorry, sir. Thought I'd lighten the mood a bit.
My father is frustrating, to say at the very least.
Well, your wife's got food at the table. No use worrying about it now. Come sit. As he taps where he assumes where he sits.
Yeah, he does sit at his chair, and as he is, your mother beginning to kind of just bring him a small plate of something. You've been at this for years. Try not to be too frustrated with him. Like, he's an old fool that, whilst in our past had believed in the old ways, I am adamant he has no intention to change.
I mean, he just denounced your brother for that.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure, because Mikhail was a radical. My father, on the other hand, is a bit more silent in his nature. Never gives a straight answer, doesn't want to give a straight answer, and whenever I try to ask him about whether or not he will actually change, it is always moved to why I haven't been better. Why can't I be a vizier? Why can't I lead this nation?
Why do you think you can lead the nation?
He's still on about the whole idea that we are somehow connected to the royal line.
What?
As he begins to kind of silent a bit at that.
Dante.
That's why I was sent to Sansabar. And see, as your mother kind of steps over, it was years ago. When we initially had met, his intentions were far more... Placing her hands on his shoulder. Let's say... self-righteous. He smiles a bit. Of course, I beat him down a couple of times before he learned his lesson. And then he definitely learned his lesson after getting his ass handed by none other than the target that all of you are after.
Saviden?
That's why I know so much about him. At least as much as I could know about him before I was banished away back into Sansabar, bleeding and half dead.
Do you... Sorry, Miss Idlewind. Do you know Saviden?
By proxy, mostly. Of course, it was Tyrion here who actually faced the man before I saved him and his, well, humbled self. As far as I can tell all of you, Saviden is dangerous. Very powerful old lich necromancer, and he is currently probably the only one that is protecting the old tomb of Amun-Ra. The reason why I was trying to get to the tomb of Amun-Ra was to find the first records of this land. Hopefully it could have proven what would have been the Idlewind's connection to the royal line, considering our long history to them. But somewhere in that history, things get muddy. And that's why my father wants those records.
I mean, that would explain why he was very eager to help me out of nowhere.
Dante looking over. That possibly could make you a princess.
I don't want to think about that, thank you.
I thought she already was a princess.
It was never...
I'm not. I really am not. Nope.
It was never our intention to... I never wanted to raise myself to...
Bork.
Yeah. Never wanted to raise myself or even concern my family in royal matters. I wanted to protect this land as much as anybody else. But if my father is still persistent on such an idea, given his age, I fear that he might try and manipulate you, Citra, to get what he wants, which is the last thing I want.
I get that.
Hypothetically,
Yes.
if there were some connection to your family and the old royal lines, what happens then?
There'd be a conflict in the control of the throne.
Because
Based off of the old laws, I can tell you this. If there's ever so much as a conflict with the royal line, it is a matter in which a champion would be promoted from the current sultan and those challenging the line. And the duel is to the death.
Of course it is. Everything's to the death.
It's the old laws. Ones that haven't changed yet.
They
so
should.
you would have to kill the king.
But you don't want the throne.
No.
No.
So the king would kill you.
But the laws say that you have to challenge.
I would have to promote someone.
We're only here for Saviden. We were not here to mess with that.
Well,
Yes, but it sounds like we're getting caught up in it anyway.
Citra just hangs her head.
Which is the main reason why I'm trying to keep him as far away from it as possible. And rather kind of just stepping off to the side. Which is also the reason why he stays by my side as much as he has. I love him dearly. I wouldn't have had you, Citra, if not for him.
She
But
gives us...
he protects me to keep the story clear.
Well, unless that pops up, which I hope it doesn't. We're here for technically now 2 targets. We weren't here to come here and disrupt the whole line of succession. And honestly, I don't want to.
I don't think that's what any of us want.
I would like to be able to come back home and be able to call this place home once this is all over.
That's the plan. As he looks up towards Eloise. You'll protect this. You'll protect them, and they will protect you. And my duties are here for the palace as well as the capital. If you can find this of Eden and you can unlock whatever it is that anybody could ever want from that place, I just request that to put an end to it, burn it.
Well, we were put on this path by two different people. One is Azure, and the other one is your grandmother. So, I say we stay focused on Saviden. But Erithis did warn me about someone approaching me with impure reasons. So, I'm gonna do my best to keep above all that. And if not, my friends definitely will.
On the other matter, I think it is time that we discuss what happened last night as well.
CJ immediately looks more uncomfortable.
Dante's getting really uncomfy.
As Eloise, I think it's pertinent to discuss this before we actually travel. We do know of Sav.
Dante's trying to crawl under the table.
And you can see as Tyrion looks at you. Don't.
How about
Sit.
we do an exchange? If I'm to be around to hear about this personal thing for you, I can tell you a personal thing about me.
It would be more useful to just understand the past about things, and I appreciate your offer.
I mean, will this
But-
actually clear up of why this other lady we just met seems to know who I am?
You can see as he kind of struggles to kind of right himself before straightening out. After we had been attacked the first time, we saw what Sav was. At first, it was the thought that it was an imaginary friend, something most children would consider. Didn't think much of it. But after what we saw that night, me and your mother became desperately concerned of what that could possibly lead for the future. So we sought mages. None of them could give us an answer. So one day, Camilla had showed, offering a friend to take a look and hopefully, possibly seal away Sav. When he arrived, it was a short conversation. And after you had fallen asleep, it was a short ritual noting that the wall is not permanent, but not easily broken, separating the Sav part of your mind.
Who did this?
His mother looks over. Apparently your friends know him. Eloise Azure.
You have this very, long stare of just, her brain shut off for a second.
Yeah.
Dante letting out a big.
Of course.
Funny that. You know I work with him right now?
As your friends had described, yes.
And she's just like sipping her water, just trying to keep her brain calm.
Keep in mind, what we did was borderline unethical, yes, but it was to make sure that you were safe.
You wanted to keep me just smiley and happy the whole time.
No, that's not what we wanted. We were still in the early days when the laws were changed.
So, instead of working with me to help me grow in a healthy direction, you decided to just put it in a box.
It was a temporary fix for a long-term problem. We get it. What would have happened if Sav broke out?
Sav did break out. Eventually. But if I don't know, had been in touch with my own self for this whole time, it probably wouldn't have been nearly as violent.
And what happens if it would have been violent? What would the people think? What of us? What of the family?
Yeah, just how do I feel about all this? How did I deal with all this? I felt...
You were 5. You were a child. Any blame towards you, any. The laws go right back to where they were. Nothing would have changed, nothing would be better, you wouldn't be here. What we did, we thought was right.
Dante speaks up. But you were wrong.
Couldn't be sure.
Well, here we are now.
Did Azure also tell you what I am? Because I'm very aware of what I am now. And I'm not letting Sav go back into a box. Continuously putting me in like that is like setting off a ticking time bomb. Sav has, on momentous occasions, helped me and my friends. Sav is not a monster, Sav is not evil. But I certainly felt like that for so long. I understand you did what you thought was right, but I'm gonna ask you right now. Don't take that choice away from me. And I ask you to trust me right now. I'm still Citra. I haven't changed. I've grown, but I haven't changed.
I know. It's just... See, he's slightly torn, not knowing what to do at this moment.
Well, we got a job to do. We can carry on with this later. Saviden first.
As he gets up from the chair. And not even a word can pass out of him. He takes back his weapon and shield and he leaves the house without another word said.
Yeah, no, Citra's crushed right now.
You can see as your mother is kind of just a little bit more broken down than before last night, just verge of tears.
Well, Miss Idlewind, I'm sorry for ruining your breakfast like this.
You didn't ruin anything.
Perhaps we can discuss this while we're traveling.
If you want to. Or if you both just gonna sit there and fear me.
She's looking at the rest of the party, or going back to you.
Leo just has a very flat poker face on right now. Like,
Dealing with family.
Yikes, man.
It's the
Anyways, this
friends
non-bread's great.
Yeah, it's like the friends coming over to a friend's house and, they're
man,
fighting.
this curry is to die for.
Alrighty, my things.
And she quickly leaves to her own room. And as after this discussion, the tension between your parents and the situation has raised a bit. But we're gonna go ahead, take a quick 10-minute break. We'll be right back. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love spicy tension.
Yeah, the angst, the
As long as you
tension.
don't-
Yeah.
As long as you don't kill them off, because that's usually a death flag.
Listen, we're not tempting the Disney shit, okay?
Alright.
Oh, he didn't say I love you before I left. He's dead. He's dead.
Alright, so with that being said, we're gonna take a quick 10-minute break. We'll be right back. See you all then.
Oh, hell yeah. 10-minute bake? You got it.
10-minute break! Break! Ah! Hello! Welcome back, everybody. We coming back from break.
This tea is great.
Yeah. Just ting. So, starting where we had last left off, as you guys are preparing to leave Bulvaka to head to Sansabar with your mother in tow and your ally, Elowin. So, that being said, let's jump back into game. So, as all of you slowly gather your things and prepare yourself, bring extra rations, as well as any protection that you might need from the sun. Burra, you don't have to worry because temperature doesn't bother you.
Mm-hmm.
Citra has her mom's wrap still, so she's good.
Alrighty. So, as all of you slowly prepare, you see as your mother walks out in what looks like to be a much different outfit from her usual scholarly design, in what looks like to be a dancer's outfit, as well as a large, very reflective cloak. And she looks towards all of you. Shall we?
Yeah. I haven't seen this one in a while.
You look
I'm
stunning.
heading home. Thank you. And you can see it is not exactly thin or see-through. It is light, and much like to what Citra kind of looks like, there is that obvious, like, Assassinated design and open arms, as well as what looks like to be this kind of crossing, like, hatch design that leads up and around towards the shoulders before having this almost, like, light, not, it's hard to define, like, sequin, like, flaps that kind of come off the shoulders a bit. And as all of you begin to slowly make your way out of the palace area and into the streets of Bulvaka, you head northward. For as you begin to reach the ends of the cities and the outer slums, you see the giant mass of ocean of sand that pervases this entire country. You can see some of the mountain ranges, and as well as the rolling dunes that push out towards the north. We'll try and head towards an oasis as our first stop.
At least then we'll be able to get all of our water back together, should we so desire. And do keep an eye out, as there are many a creature that permeate these scarred lands.
Would one of those creatures be the same thing we've dealt with at the dunes?
Probably.
Oh boy. Seach would be like, you mean like dune petters?
Potentially.
Hmm.
It's been a while.
Quietly, I think Seacher would just kind of like, with her tail, just kind of like wrap around the end of her mom's tail as like a, you know, they're upset, but like they still care for her mom, and she's just kind of like a, you know, little pat almost.
Oh yeah.
Just things are gonna be awkward for a while. And then she'd look back at the rest of her friends like, are you guys ready for this? It's gonna be very hot.
Dante start. Oh, go ahead.
Die?
No, I said let's
Oh.
let's do it.
Dante.
I've traveled through hot places before.
Yeah.
Not like these. As
Dante's
all of
gonna
you.
form back down into something a little lighter.
Alrighty. As all of you begin to push onwards into what are the burning dunes of Celsia. Give you guys a little bit of time to talk among yourselves, should you so desire.
If her mom's leading ahead, which I'm sure she is,
Oh,
considering
she is.
if Citra is like a little bit further back, Citra would just kind of be like, I'm sorry you got pulled into all of that. Like the whole familial fight.
No, it's okay. Now, if anything, I'm more sorry about intruding on it. No. You know, that offer is still out there if you want it.
Offer? I think you said this to me offline.
Oh no, it's okay. Like, yeah, she's just, yeah, what I said before when I offered to tell you something about myself.
Oh, I mean,
The offer was to you, it wasn't really for your father to answer.
I appreciate that. And if you feel you want to, I'm not gonna make you.
I think that it's fair, since, well, I got to hear personal bits about you,
Yeah.
which, well, it didn't seem like you really wanted to talk about it.
No, I did. I just more so upset that it ended the way that it did. Just constant secrets have been the detriment to myself and the rest of my friends here, and it's getting more and more annoying each day.
No, yeah, your parents have made mistakes. I wasn't really fond of how it ended either. I think that they should apologize to you.
I'm not
What?
trying to seek apologies, I just want things to fix itself, you know?
Yeah, but sometimes the first step is an apology. To have them recognize that what they did hurt you, and that they made a mistake.
Well, here's hoping that we can get around to that.
She nods.
Usually
But-
I'm a little bit more chipper about these things, sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. It seems like you've been going through a lot of things personally. So, there's no problem. Yeah. And I'll keep my promise. I'll make it even.
Okay.
So. And she just smiles and. So. Well, you know that I'm a bounty hunter, and, well, one of my marks is mixed into this, and I'm going after them. There's a reason why I'm so passionate about this, and why, well, I responded pretty aggressively to your uncle back there. You see, I used to live amongst a group of people that did follow both.
Oh.
And my family, we suffered because of it. We didn't like it. But especially my uncle actually suffered because of it.
I'm sorry.
It's not alright. I can't say that it is, because him and his family ended up dying because of it. Because you see, he actually fell in love with a human, and they had kids. And when you worship Loth and you follow the ways of Loth, let's just say that your uncle's words weren't anything new to me.
Never knew he existed, and his words stung quite a bit.
It did. And she's like quiet for a moment as she's just kind of walking through the sand and she's looking forward.
Citra would just kind of like, not sure at first, but then just kind of like side hug her, like, I give hugs now.
Yeah,
Why-
give hug.
Why does it seem like the happier the being, the more traumatic their past is?
Yeah. And she just smiles like, my uncle and their family weren't able to make it out, but me and my family did. And I spend every day trying to fight against the Red Hour. Because I want people to be able to live happily, to not be under that suppression. And I want people to love who they love. So, and I'll sacrifice any part of me for that. And she says as she kind of like brushes her hair back behind one of her ears that is actually cut in half.
Ouch. Well, here's hoping this doesn't have to end in more body parts being hurt.
Well, I've gotten very strong, so
You're
I
also
believe
amongst,
that will be okay.
You're also amongst a group of people that are pretty unique and strong in their own ways too. And she gestured
Yeah.
to the rest of the group.
It seemed very interesting.
Oh, they are. And some may be intense, but they're honestly really good people.
Hmm?
She mostly means Buddha, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Dante. He's sassy. And, well, Bura, I can tell that they're protective. That's good.
Yeah. So long as
Leo
you're not a
seems
door,
like the
you're fine.
reluctant mom.
Citra tries not to lose her shit.
You don't know the half of it.
Citra would just look.
I have 22 passive perception.
Citra would turn to Leo and be like, "I'm not that bad." No, regardless of what Leo wants, he can hear all of this.
Unfortunately.
You seem like a good mom.
Boring mom.
Thanks.
Never gonna have any fun.
Oh, my throat.
Alright.
And I think she'd just be like, regardless of what you heard earlier, though, my parents aren't bad. They're pretty good. Just
Oh no. I don't think they're bad. I just think that they've made a mistake. I can tell that they love you a lot.
I know.
But even people that love you can make mistakes.
They sure can.
Mm-hmm.
But I can safely say, with this group, so long as you're not a door, you're fine with us.
Oh.
Mostly-
Maybe I'll be careful about my shield then. Sometimes I can look like a door with it.
But his foot will find any door.
Oh.
When there's a door this way.
Yep.
There's a door, there's a way.
Where there's a door, there's a door.
I'm gonna make a feat just for Burrow.
Door kicking.
Doesn't matter the door size, if it's locked, if it's magical, he can kick all of them open.
I don't care. I didn't say I didn't ask what it was. My foot's kicking it down. Now!
Oh god. As you all continue to travel throughout these lands, and you feel the beating sun as it now begins to settle towards the south. Having traveled at least a third of the way there, you all begin to slowly make your way with what looks like to be an oasis that has a few traveling individuals who come by here, being a landmark for what is Excelsium, in these dried and dead lands. You see as Eloise finally stops here. Well then, we'll spend the night here for the time being. Try and set up camp and just have a decent fire before the real cold begins to roll in.
Teacher's like, I could probably help with that, but you'd need to stand back quite a bit.
See, some of the passing travelers all begin to quickly get onto their camels and make leave as they try and get to Bulvaka. Kind of brave. Nothing. As you can see, she's prepping some of the tent that she had brought with her, and it's about sizable enough to fit about 8 people before finally settling in. And out towards the front, you can see there are plenty of deadwood trees that are kind of just bent over the what is this small reservoir of water, usually for anyone that can refill. They can.
Well, Leo's got the purify water now.
What, the spell? Purify food and drink?
Yeah? No? Or no?
That's a negative, my friend.
Oh.
That is a cleric spell, I believe. And I do not know it.
Neither does Citra.
Oh no.
Okay.
Alright. So all of you begin to prepare for the night, ready to sleep. Gathering with whatever water that might be as clean as you can get it. You start a small fire using the dead wood, and you all stick around. And
Citra's just getting like deja vu vibes because she met their whole group in the dunes.
yeah.
They all met each other in a freaking desert.
Should I go obtain another rat?
Oh god, no.
At least I know Leo can make jerky out of that one.
Alright. So, shall all of you take rest for the night?
Yep.
Citra's gonna try. Falling asleep is scary now.
So, who would like to take first watch?
Actually, go ahead. Bro would take first watch.
Okay. As you don't really need to sleep, in fact.
Yep.
It's probably to your benefit here. You just need... It's technically like a trance of dead. Like, you don't need sleep, it's just that you need to, like, let your body recuperate.
Okay.
Citra would take the second one, or at least in the darkest point, because she can see.
Alright.
Dante will take third and have Virgil just moseying around.
Okay. And Leodon and Elwyn?
Yeah. I'll take a watch.
We'll do the rest of the watches after that because I only need 4 hours.
Okay.
Must be nice.
Elves, man.
It is.
Alright. Yep, taking my watch.
So, Burra, as you start the night, make me a perception check.
Okay. Ah.
Yeah.
20.
Nice.
He sees everything.
Oh wait, no, 14.
Nice.
No, it's 14 plus 6.
Yeah, still 20. So.
Yeah. So, as the beginning of the watch starts, and you stare out into these endless sands, you stare into the fire, and you look out, just observing. You can hear a small fluttering sound on your shoulder as it beats in the wings of a small bird.
I can't get high anymore. I must be high. High. Somehow. What is this bird doing here?
It's not really there, it's just, it feels like you can hear it. Just in the, almost as if it's far, but it's next to your ear.
Or I try scoping it. Or picking the area, so. He thinks he can see.
You're not really bothered by any of the temperature here. It feels almost as if it's persistently room temperature for you. And as the night comes to a close for you, you can feel as if there might give way to all your efforts from yesterday. You decide to move and take your rest as the next on the watch comes Citra.
Yep.
Treading places, you can feel the bitter cold with the absence of heat. You can feel the wind as it blows through the dunes. You can hear sounds from afar off, and there is just something about it that doesn't really give too much absence to what you have dealt with before in your past here. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
She's gonna use guidance on top of this time.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. It's a nat 20.
The feeling is generally safe at the moment as you begin to make a small round on the oasis and you look towards the north, towards the south, and you see the shifting sands as they flow through the night. And you can hear a strange whirl of wind coming out from the west. It doesn't really come to any familiarity in this dark night. As it is to be noted, it is about a new moon here.
Oh, so it's getting dark.
Yeah.
Ooh. No guidance from the goddess.
No. Well, I mean, she can try to seek guidance from Erithus. She doesn't need the moon for that.
Dante needs it, though.
Sorry, Dante.
As your time here comes to a bit of a close, you go and head off and switch places with Dante.
Okay. Virgil, go do your thing, bud. Boop.
Try to stay warm.
He sends out Virgil.
Yeah,
I mean-
given Dante's nature, since your clothes are technically your skin,
Mm-hmm.
it is bitter cold for you, Dante.
If that's the case, I think Citra would at least give the wrap that she has to him.
Yeah,
But also keep in mind, he's acclimated to the cold.
that's true.
Mm.
But this is a different kind of cold. In Wallenstein, it's like a wet cold. At least you can find places to bundle up and stay out of that. But this is a dry cold. It strikes down to the bone.
Take the rap, Dante.
You got it.
Yeah.
Is the fire still going?
The fire is still going.
He's gonna scoot closer to the fire.
Okay. As you do that, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Okay. 20.
Damn,
Dirty
the 20s
20.
have it.
Damn, everybody today.
Oh, that's gonna suck if battle happens.
Right?
You are sitting there as you can feel the winds begin to kind of bat you, and wrapped with Citra's wrap and staying by the fire as close as you can. Virgil does seemingly have trouble in the air this night as the winds are very strong. And even with the way that the night is, it's kind of hard to really see even with a creature that is Virgil. You have him come back before being taken away by the winds. And that sound from the west is getting louder, like a much more bigger wave of air is moving closer towards this area.
Oh no. Is it Darude Sandstorm? No.
Can't tell.
Okay. Can Dante... what kind of other check can I do on that?
Make a nature check.
Yeah, fuck it. Nature check. Where are you, honey? Nature. Alright, goddess, I know your moon is kind of out of the picture, but here we go! 13?
It's hard to tell if this cell of winds are coming towards your direction or if they might die down. But there could possibly be what could be perceived equal to like a sleet storm in Wallenstein, but this being more of a sandstorm. You can't tell just yet. It might move, it might not even hit you, but it sounds like there is something in the far off.
Alright. Huh. Can Dante just kind of like walk away from the group and like see if he can see it better?
Sure. As you go out about 300 feet to get on top of one of the dunes to see if you can glean anything. Make another perception check, but with disadvantage because you're not by the fire.
Okay. Alright, that's a nat 1.
Well, then I guess it's a nat 1. I don't think you can get any worse than
Yeah. It's just too dark out here, even with your special eyes.
Oh, my brand!
I know. It's just too dark, but you can definitely feel the wind whipping and that bitter cold hitting you straight to the heart.
Ooh, okay, back to the fire, back to the fire, back to the fire.
Yeah, as you just like... By this point, you feel like that there's nothing else that you can watch out for. As, who wants to do the next watch? Elwyn or Leodon?
I can do it.
He sees everything.
You got passive perception.
I can see why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's because there's swirls of cinnamon sugar in every bite.
Not sponsored.
Yeah. I will make my perception roll.
Yeah. I mean, even with your passive, I'll consider that.
That's a 27.
He was trying to hide something.
You get this faint feeling as you are definitely more prepared for the cold. As you make your rounds, you go out about 300 feet, and you can feel your axe actually beginning to react. Like it's trying to get away from something. Like the air is pushing something as you feel this loud burning hum as it is getting closer. And as you just squint your eyes out, you can see what is this massive wall of sand and air as it reaches way into the sky, what is technically to be called a haboob,
Oh boy.
as it is now rolling closer towards your general party. These are dangerous because it is basically the equivalent of a sandblast. Anything?
Yeah, if this is imminent and oncoming, I will do a brief glance to see if there is any sort of large dune that we could duck behind, or if there's any sort of shelter at all we could take from the haboob. Which I'm going to take every opportunity to say.
Yeah. It's hard to tell because these can span for miles as this giant cell of air is beginning to come through. Even with that extra perception, you also feel that there's something deep within this. And looking out towards this wall of sand, there is something that is in it, slowly just making its way through, but using it as cover.
Yeah. I mean, danger close. I'm waking up the party and trying to find some way to get out of this.
Oh, I just got off my shift. What the fuck
Wake
is
up.
wrong?
Wake up, we've got a sandstorm incoming. What's more, I think there's something inside of it.
Something like a person? In that?
I'm not sure. Call it a
She
feeling.
would just look to her mom like, what?
I've heard of some things often hidden behind those sandstorms, but I often usually avoid them. Pack everything in as close as you can now. Leave behind whatever it is we don't need.
Alright.
Alright. So, as all of you begin to quickly start picking up whatever it is you can and start moving out as soon as you possibly can, you can see as that giant wall of sand getting closer and closer.
Yeah, Citra is gonna cast light on her staff so that they can see where the hell they're going.
Alright. As
How
your mother...
close is it?
It's now about to trail you guys.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I need you all to collectively make a survival check.
Can I
Gotta
do control winds?
For the sake of the argument,
Hey, 220s!
hey, it might help given the current circumstances. You could buffet it.
Don't worry, I did worse.
How does the fucking ranger roll an 11? I wonder.
Because I rolled a 3.
I mean, I could have cast guidance on everybody, technically.
Yeah, I'm not talking
yeah.
about the cantrip, by the way. I'm talking about the 5th level spell control winds.
Oh, yes. That could create a possible buffet to where I will say it will give everyone advantage, so that way they...
Oh boy!
Yeah. So I'll let everyone roll for advantage, especially with the help of Elwyn as she spins the spear around. You can see that there is a small, personal sandstorm to deal with, as it kind of acts as a buffer towards all of you, just that way whatever out of winds can affect you.
I'll keep my 20.
A little bit
I'll
better.
keep my 20.
That's a 16.
Did you see Bruz though? It's 20 fucking 4, man.
Right?
Yeah.
24.
I'll keep my 20.
It's just Elwyn just like spinning the staff around like fucking Dumbledore in fucking the 6th movie. Just. Alrighty.
I think for the sake of so that they don't keep getting sandblasted, if we're not, I'd say Citra would use her wings kind of like a buffer between their heads, like over like an umbrella.
You guys are probably in the most calmest spot possible with the help of Elwyn.
Okay.
As all of you slowly you see as now this giant sandstorm hits the wall that Elwyn has created, and it starts going past it. As you can now see, the entire area is consumed by what is darkness and sand.
Christ.
However, you can still hear as you all begin to look around, you begin to also see strikes of electricity coming through. Just
Oh,
fucking
oh
storm.
lord.
Did we find Saviden already?
yeah.
Oh, nope. I think I know what it is.
Oh no.
As all of you slowly begin to look back,
No.
Oh no.
you can see what is this large creature, heavily armored and being wrapped by the sand itself as the air begins to swirl and spin. You can see dinner with what looks like to be this giant electrical mace in hand, as it is now pushing out towards all of you and slowly gaining speed. And you can
Can I
see,
suggest you become a vegetarian?
yeah, coming out from the shoulders, you see more lightning as it begins to strike through the giant sandstorm.
Are we about to fight something in a sandstorm?
Yep.
Really?
All right. Put on Darude. Let's do this.
Alrighty. So, let's see how quickly we can get through this. As it begins to gain speed, what is it that you guys want to do? Stand your ground or keep moving forward?
Can we run?
You can certainly try.
I think we should run.
Because you're gonna keep getting sandblasted.
Sasuke's gonna look to Leo and he's like, Leo, I think we should run.
Citra would look to her mom.
That would be best.
As he says, even more scared. Alright.
And she's
All right.
she's gonna tap everyone with guidance in this case. Like, no, let's go.
So at this point, I need all of you to go ahead and make me another survival check to try and escape whatever entity is consumed in this storm.
Yeah, she's giving you all guidance, so roll d4 with it.
Okay.
Also, my control winds last for an hour.
So we roll for advantage?
No, it's just with a d4 on top of whatever you roll.
Yeah. You are escaping. You're trying to escape this encounter. That's why it's a straight roll.
I've got it. Ooh!
It's gonna be a 23
That's
for
gonna
me.
get 12 for me.
14.
Let's see, so there's, I got 7,
Roll a d4 on top of it.
8.
Alright. And also roll for Elise. She got a 23. Alright, so Citra. What's your roll?
14.
14. Leodon.
23.
Dante.
12.
Burrow.
8.
And Elwyn.
22.
Alright. Go ahead.
Damn it.
So, as all of you quickly try and make your way through, as you begin to start dashing ahead, you are finding some struggle having to run through sand as this creature starts making some progress towards getting to you, as it's also beginning to run and make its bounds. It's not close enough to actually get to you just yet. So, I need you all to roll another survival check.
All right. Whoop up. Damn it. 7.
21.
21. I also got a 21.
Alrighty. So, as you guys are ripping across one of the bigger dunes, this creature is now once again getting close. He is still trying to bound towards all of you, as all of you are pushing through this heavily buffeting winds with the assistance of Elowin, as you can now begin to see that some of the lightning strikes are beginning to get closer and closer. I need Leodon, or not Leodon, I need Dante, Burra, to both make me dexterity saving throws. Also Eloise, or yeah.
That's a nat 1, buddy.
18.
18? Okay.
Holy.
Must go faster. Must go faster.
Dante can't run through the fucking sand. It's not the same as snow.
Teacher's about
Alright.
to just use her wings
So-
to carry your ass.
So Burra and Dante, as you get towards what is the outer area of the controlled winds, you both get struck by lightning as it hits you both. Dante, the most unprepared, as you, Burra, taking your blade and almost kind of forming a line to push it back out.
Damn.
Like, lightning bending, really.
Right.
As you're taking half damage, and Dante, you're taking the full damage of 20 points of lightning, as it's just close enough to start causing a problem. As Dante, you'll be rolling survival with disadvantage.
Teacher's gonna tap him with Shield of Faith for a while.
Alright, I need you guys to roll me another survival check.
Oh boy.
Can I smack myself with guidance?
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
Teacher's been doing it. Can they stack or no? No?
No, you can only use the spell effect once on per individual.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Leo is going to be looking for anybody who's sort of falling behind, and he's going to try and physically lift them or push them forward.
Yeah.
Good, hold on.
Your mother is kind of bounding through this area. She's very free in this.
Boing,
Yeah.
boing.
Alright, she's gonna favor by the gods and use the 2d4 in this case.
Okay.
Alright, so I rolled with disadvantage with an 8, and then I rolled another
14.
4. Oh, 14?
I got 14.
Okay, so I'm getting a 12.
Okay.
18.
All right. As all of you, with the exception of
Dante wins more.
of Citra and Dante, as you both just managed to kind of fall back a bit before Leodon grabbing both of you and kind of just pushing you both forward, keeping you on your feet.
Come on!
Leodon, Citra, and Dante. I need you all to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh boy.
Fantastic.
Yeah. 21.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
17.
All right, so all of you are succeeding in this. You'll be taking half damage. All right. 14 points of lightning damage.
That's already halved?
Yeah.
And half, so you're all taking 7.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
As all of you can now see that the creature has gotten much farther after being helped to kind of come out from this. You're all still getting struck by lightning because it's just in the range. I need you all to roll one more survival check to see if you can escape.
Alright.
What's the saving throw?
I know
survival.
this.
Still survival? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
17.
19.
Nat 1.
Fuck.
Oh.
Okay.
Can I use something? Is
Keep
it
in mind, this is a
possible?
party check.
Oh,
I'm counting how many successes and failures.
Oh, okay.
But, Dante, you fall flat on your face. Before Leodon goes and picks you up, grabs you, and throws you back onto your feet before you all begin to see that the creature is losing his momentum and trying to chase you through this sandstorm. You all manage to finally get over one of the larger dunes before sliding and hitting the ground, falling, and just start heading miles per hour down the side of this large dune that none of you were able to catch initially. As all of you start reaching down, you can see as the giant sandstorm is stopping at this point. I'll find you. I'll find you. As you see one large burst of electricity flashes out against the wall, you can see what is standing there is this lightning blue-eyed storm giant. The heavy hair whipping through the winds, heavily cloaked armor pieces that are patchwork, and this large electrical mace that's just disappointed to not be used. Before turning back into the storm, seeing that his efforts are a bit wasted here. As all of you continue to head north.
Citra's gonna like keep up with Dante and tap him with cure wounds. Yeah, because you took a nasty hit.
Alright, how much do I get?
You get 9 back at least for now.
9.
As your mother is just sitting there like, okay, never saw that before.
That?
Never that. Never that.
Do you have it, everyone?
Okay, we got Ella, we got Elwyn, we got Bro, we got Citra, Leah, we got me. Yeah, I think we're good here, bud.
They're just
You see like a little bit of electricity darting between the two little cuffs on her horns, just like
Just
does a flip with her spear that like changes the current of the wind to instead go into pass without a trace on us.
okay. At least we're all safe.
But how far
She
off track
starts-
are we?
Clamoring towards you, Citra. You're safe, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
She hugs you like as hard as she can.
And she just gives a hug back like, I'm fine. I promise.
Okay.
It's Dante and the worst.
My leg hurt.
All right.
Let's take a moment to catch our breath.
Hey, Dante's gonna feel the sand really quickly. Does the sand feel like anything a body can produce?
Huh?
That's an odd question.
Huh?
Yeah, okay, so does the sand seem like anything the body can produce?
Are you trying to say you could
That's
shapeshift
the
it?
same question.
I feel
Okay,
like- I feel like-
bear with me. If I can change...
Can I make sand?
not make sand, but duplicate it on my skin.
I feel like you're doing some
Not really.
Like an
You can
octopus?
duplicate maybe the texture, but like you can't become sand.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Can I duplicate the texture of sand? Is there anything the body produces that can duplicate the texture of sand?
Not really. I mean, there are spells like bark skin and stuff like that, but not for this.
Damn. I was thinking like the sleep sand that you wipe out of your eyes in the morning, but I don't think I can produce that enough.
No.
Yeah, that's like hardened. That's
God.
hardened tears. It's salt.
So basically, I'd have to cry my whole body out and let it dry.
Teacher would kind of
Okay, I'm gonna take that as a fat no.
Teacher would
No.
look to their new friend.
Warning. This is much too creative.
Quite the spell. Thanks.
No problem.
That was gonna hurt.
Yeah,
pretty
good thing we got that rest in.
I'm pretty sure Citra, having grown up here, knows what it's like to get sandblasted, you know.
Yeah. Oh, then, let's try and keep heading northward. We're not too far from Sansabar, if we came from the oasis.
So we didn't run off track?
Oh, thank goodness.
We headed northward, so as close as we can get. It is a village hidden well within the sand, but I have a good sense of direction, at least with the stars.
Yeah, I don't have good sense of direction.
Very well. The sun will rise soon.
Alright, to Sansabar.
Citra just pats Dante like, I'm so sorry, buddy.
It stung. But I'll be fine,
As all of you begin to follow what is these sand roads as you see the morning begin to rise, you all spend about a good day not having to worry about many of the threats here as all of you travel together and close. That sandstorm from last night you can see has died by the daylight. You all begin to travel further and further into the dunes. Not before long, by nightfall, you find yourselves walking through strange, tall, mountainous paths, surrounded by quiet shade and the faint sound of music.
Would Citra know what that is in the sense that I'm pretty sure her mom's told her stories?
It is the sounds of Sansabar.
Citra's ears would perk up and she'd kind of like tug on her mom's hand like, is that what I think that is?
Yes. Home.
Good. She just like hangs her head because that was a lot.
Very much. As all of you make your way through what is this large wall-to-wall kind of ravine here. As you all finally pass through, you see what is this giant, almost mountain city that is protected by what is like this ravine before leading off into those sands up top. As you find what is like this giant city, and you can hear the faint sounds of laughter and music, and you see as people begin to look, there are individuals who are quite curious as to not only a returning member of this village, but also friends. See as all of them begin to pass, you see some stopping at Eloise, and you can hear, is she still at the same place? And he's like, oh yeah, she hasn't gone anywhere, not since you left. And you see as Eloise turns towards all of you. Okay, before we do anything while we're here, just keep in mind, everyone here, extremely friendly, very accepting. However, we need to make one stop. And unfortunately, Citra, you have to join me for this.
I do?
Yes. Before anything, don't be too judgmental, and also try to ignore about everything you hear. About 80% of it.
You mean do exactly what I've been doing back in home?
Hun, I understand. And I get it. This is different. And I understand you want to have this conversation, and I really want to join you for this, and your friends have a point in allowing Sov to be free. You should be who you want to be, and I very much want that for you as well.
Okay.
However, who we are about to meet is insane.
Okay. Citra doesn't want to admit it, but like they've met quite a bit of insane people already.
She's different. Built different. And I promise we will talk about this. I promise. I know I will.
Okay. So insane lady or person, and people are generally very accepting, but try not to be judgmental. Got it.
Yes. Alright.
Citra is quietly thinking, does she think Sov is just gonna pop out at random?
As you all traverse through the city a bit, as you head to what is almost like this giant center building. And with what looks like to be a small line of small homes, see as she goes towards the door and she... Hello?
Bork! Bork, 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 bork!
A dog.
As she goes and opens the door and it slightly creaks open, it is dark, very dapper in here. As all of you press forward. Mother!
Oh. Oh, boy.
As all of you kind of crowd this front area, like a shade in the night, drops down from the ceiling and immediately kicks your mother deep into this small house. And you can see what is... All of you looks down is this tiny little bitty of a fucking woman with this small head wrap and long hair. Just completely leather tanned face. This old walking stick just wrapped in several different kinds of scarves and clothing.
You leave for 60 years, for 20 years, not send a single letter, and also you've gotten no better at your combat skills. I'm honestly disappointed.
Citra doesn't know what to think. She's just like, okay.
More
You see as
family
your-
reunions. Jazz hands.
You see as your mother gets up from behind one of the broken couches, and she's like, "Is this really the time, Mother?"
Yes, it is.
Looks towards all of you.
Ah, hello. Capuari. First, I need to teach my daughter a lesson.
Capuari.
Mom,
Yeah.
are you in trouble?
I can only imagine that she'd be very angry, considering the fact that I haven't spoken to her in nearly 20 years.
Why is
Yeah.
this a thing in this family?
Well, it's not easy to contact her. She throws the stick at her. It just bounces every which direction before ending back in her hand. It's just like...
Citra is quietly stepping back away.
Yeah. It's like, Mother, we have guests! And it's just like... Looking back towards all of you. She looks over. And also your granddaughter. I have a granddaughter?!
Citra just does
We'll
this
get ready
like
to be kicked.
awkward like one-handed wave. She's got her hand on her staff like, oh god.
She she's just like, you see that like the pursed lips, and she's looking at you. And points towards you, and then points towards Leodon.
I don't think it'll ever work out.
What are we talking about?
And he looks at Dante and Bora.
Maybe.
What? Wait, what? What?
Do me next.
Oh, honey, you're a whole kind of mess.
And looking at you, Citra is like poking you around, tapping your legs, and then immediately points towards your chest. And looks back to Eloise.
You sure granddaughter, not grandson? No tits on this one.
Citra is actually
don't
like
know.
red in the face right now. Like what?
I don't know if I like her or I hate her.
Wait, Dante's gonna lean over to Brian. He's be like, this is what's who you cannot be named got with.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, we're talking about that man.
Citra's just
Oh
like,
yes. Oh, I have stories to tell about that one. I remember our first night. My hands on his horns, his hands on his
Please stop!
Freaking Elwood just has like the biggest stupid smile.
Bra is hugging her, is like holding around her legs. It's like, I am begging you, please stop!
Oh, what? A woman can't talk about her own sexual exploits.
Please stop!
All your slut shaming needs to stop from wherever land you're
I am
from.
begging, Bra is crying. Bra's crying like, I am begging you to stop!
You can see as your mother is just like,
Citra's just covering herself now, feeling like I'd have never been insulted like that before.
and she turns back to you, Citra.
Ah, well, teach her on, really. I'm just saying, you know, between you two, you'll never fuck.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god.
I was the matchmaker of this town in my day.
Fuck.
It's like, mother! Please!
Leo closes his eyes and just thinks, hey mom, hey pop, you were good parents. I appreciate everything you did.
You did right by me by sending me away. As she begins to kind of just tap the ground of the house, you can see all the small sconces begin to light just around, and you begin to see as the house begins to move and arrange back to a very proper-looking place.
Like, it's a good thing that nobody else was coming in here all dangerous. Like, had way too many people come here and starting problems. Thank goodness the town is full of people who might be able to solve such a problem. But I'll tell you what, I still can fuck a motherfucker up.
Please.
Well,
In more than one way.
oh yes, as you can see.
You know?
And my daughter, of all people who often had learned from me, still cannot kick my ass. Oh, I had her eat so much sand. Mother, just please.
Citra leans over to Dante going, no, now I get why she was with my grandfather. I know it makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Bra is passed out.
Soul,
Bruh.exe has stopped responding.
his soul is leaving his wax body. He's like, you know what? Maybe I decided. I decided
Maybe
to go
death
dead.
was an option.
You know,
Citra pokes him with her staff.
should have walked towards the light.
All right.
As she's standing around,
All right. Well, I still have plenty of old stories. I was quite the looker back in my day.
looking towards Leodon.
We can exchange
yes.
mommy tips.
She's
Oh,
truly
definitely.
insane.
I took down that man so good.
I will pass on
Oh
that
my
story.
God.
I will pass on that story. I don't need to know. I met the man. I'm done.
Oh, you actually met him.
Yes.
Bit of a jackass, if you ask me, but in the bed.
Citra is aging as this continues.
Dante's just cackling on the floor, just fucking
Crow's
beating the
feet.
floor.
Just kill me.
Citra wants to die.
And
Citra joins Bra on the floor.
I'm looking at Citra's mom like, what did we do
Citra's
here?
refusing to look at Leo at this point either. Like, nope, can't.
see, told you. Oh yes. And mother, so much to deal with. And she turns back. By the way, how's your husband? I'm relatively sure he's been keeping you well and taken care of, even though you've been away for so long. It's like, Mother, I am here on business at the very least. Oh, good. So you can ignore family first. Business is always as usual.
I'm seeing a lot of parallels.
Yes, but I'm here because Citra needs to know the story. So we're finally trading cultures! Finally! Well, without this place needing its run down. Well then, I will start making some preparations. And by the by, if you are all looking to try and get into that old tomb, good for you! You're right on time.
What? On time for what?
Right in time.
The summer solstice. It's only a couple of days away.
Oh.
Here for Saviden.
Well, that's how you're going to get into the tomb. Is that not what the idea is? Considering that the story needs to be told, somebody wants to get in. And I wouldn't trust anybody else but my own granddaughter and probably a couple of her rather unusual friends. Probably haven't fucked in so long.
What?
Excusing my mother's debaucherous nature.
I'm
It's
fucking
true,
looking
if
right
you
now.
want to get into the tomb, which is probably more than likely where Savine might be, considering that's where we had last found him.
Great.
At least that's what your father had said. We have to wait for the summer solstice. And unfortunately, in order to understand that, you all need to know the story, which has been passed down from bard to bard here, so... That's why Mother is necessary, because she's the one who will be organizing the performance.
Ooh, a performance.
She's like, you can see as she's sitting on a chair, she's like kind of wiggling her legs and just like looking at the staff, like.
You said this woman is like particularly small, correct?
She's a bit of a bitty. She's like, as you get older,
What?
especially a human woman, they get smaller.
Okay, she's a
Yeah,
human.
she's
Okay.
very much a human being, and she's probably well into her 80s.
Alright.
Citra is like,
Actioned grandma.
I know that her mom was like, don't be judgy. Citra just doesn't know how to function right now.
Oh, goodness. It's been a while since we've had to actually tell the story. It's been so long. I think the last time we had to tell the story was with you, Eloise. And don't get me wrong, when she was well and young, she was far more vicious than what I could assume to be what she is now. And
Vicious?
She just... Oh, yes! Did she not tell you? She kicked your father's ass several times through, I think, about 6 months? Was it 6 months? 7 months, Mother. 7 months! Ugh.
She actually did tell us about that.
Didn't know
Oh,
it
yes.
was a span of 7 months.
Oh, yes, he was here for quite some time, and then, well, that's when they decided to finally get together. I knew it the moment I saw those two, laid eyes on them, the combat, the fire that was deep within them. I knew they would fuck. And so, Mother, please!
She's adding more trauma to Citra now.
Sav is like crawling out of Citra's
Like,
ear
I'm
trying
done,
to
I'm
escape.
out.
Well, then, that being noted, Elise, since you're probably the better of us two who can make a relatively good meal, I will go ahead and start talking to some of the chieftains, and we will get this whole thing organized very, very soon.
Oh, and she walks over towards you and just like is reaching up with her tiny little fucking bitty hands and just like kind of reaching for your cheeks. Oh.
Teacher would kneel down to her purely out of respect.
As she's like grabbing your cheeks.
You're sure you're not grandson and not granddaughter?
Yes, I'm very sure.
Perfect. And she grabs her head right on the forehead and then immediately starts tapping away, skipping her step, and the door closes behind her.
Teacher just looks from the ground to her mom
whirlwind. All of you
Wow.
sitting there defeated.
And then
I like her.
Teacher looks at Buddha going, you didn't somehow tell...
He's still passed out.
Oh, yeah, okay, so she just kind of like tapped his face.
His soul's like coming out of his mouth.
What happened? Is she gone? Please tell me she's gone.
She's gone. She'll be back.
Oh my god.
You missed out on all the sex stories, bud.
And then teacher would stand up.
That might be for the
Say it like
best.
it's a bad thing.
Teacher would stand up and look at her mom going, what was that?
That was your grandmother.
I am starting to see why she doesn't come to the palace more often.
This is a whole other... They wouldn't. They're kind of separate from all that.
She seems fun.
Yes, well, before I was an Idlewind, I was an Everburn, so...
Oh, what now?
Everburn.
Our maiden name.
Oh.
Capwary Everburn is your grandmother. I was Elise Everburn.
And... yeah, no, I can definitely understand my grandfather now.
Wherever he is right now.
Oh.
As all of you begin to feel the slight calm of what was a whirlwind storm of this woman.
Teacher's just tucking her wrap over her chest a little more like...
It's okay.
Don't. She judged me on it too.
I've never been bothered by it before, but that was a lot.
You learn to live with it.
Elowen just like moving her robe, so then her own like small chest is just like, she just puffs out her chest like tiny but mighty.
Dante kind of looking down at his chest.
Dante's very much a man, so
Sometimes.
you're well cut. Sometimes.
Not sure what the obsession is all about.
I'm...
Leo looks down at his own chest. Just fuzz.
He's got
fluffy.
He's got bara boobs, man.
Oh god.
I can't believe one NPC makes everybody so insecure so quickly.
It's beautiful. I love her so much.
Beautiful.
You know,
All right.
Action, Grandma.
Citra is at least partially happy to know that all of her family is angry at all times.
So, as all of you slowly start collecting around to kind of gather food and speak among yourselves and hopefully trying to ignore what just happened,
We'll
you
never
find
speak
a
of
bit
this
of the
again.
calm with... You find a little bit of calm within the storm as all of you begin to relax and await for what might come very soon, as there's much to tell with what is known as the story. And that we will find out next week.
Hey,
I'm a Yakube.
oh god.
Alrighty.
We have now met the village crazy lady.
Wow.
Woo, alrighty, so yeah,
Oh my god.
Du-du-du.
you have no idea how long I've planned for this.
I let you have free reign and I am happy.
Alrighty,
You shouldn't have done
no,
that.
it's great.
Oh man, I want to draw her now.
I'll send you some references.
You got it.
As all of you, as we all know, we're gonna go ahead and start jumping into personal announcements. To quickly note, we will be rolling until the 11th of December, and then also whatever backlog episodes we might have. So after the 11th will be our last filmed show here until the new year, as we are halfway through the campaign so far. So if you are wondering where we are during the winter and the new year, there you go. I don't really have any announcements, mainly because I will not be posting any YouTube stuff for a while, given its nature to not be very helpful during this time of the year. So if you guys are interested, please do go check out the channel. I have been also posting updates for How to Be an Adventurer very recently, episode 13, as I just posted the cold open test over on the Patreon. I will probably be live streaming the next couple of weeks before I end up having to leave. So if you guys want to keep an eye out for that, I'm live streaming over on YouTube now. So there's that. And that should be about it for me. So as usual, we're going to go across the table, starting with Blue. How you now?
I don't know if that was psychological damage or emotional damage, but that was a lot of damage.
Yep.
Hi.
At least a
That
D6.
That was a lot of damage.
Hi, it's Blue Casanate. Please ignore my tone. I'm a little sick this week. I don't really have much going on right now. I have been invited to a mini-series that's happening soon, so that's as much as I can tell you there. Otherwise, I have my art open, and hopefully we'll have more art to be posting now that I'm back on mainland to do more arts. So other than that, I've not much going on, so I'm gonna pass it back over.
Alrighty. Connor, how you now?
I am recovering from Whirlwind's grandmother, but it's gonna be alright. They can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and youtube.com/distortion double. I stream Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. You can also find me playing a whole bunch of other D&D campaigns. I'm in a lot of them.
At least 6 of them.
I also have my own DM's Guild, where I'm releasing 5th edition homebrew content, including the Ranger Conclave that I'm currently developing is not the Treasure Hunter Conclave. I've sort of set that to the wayside until I can come up with a unique idea that isn't plagiarism. But yes.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Also, the Unexpectable started the Tumblr.
That is true. Yeah, we have a Tumblr and a TikTok now. I'm running
Good
both
luck.
of those. It's been
Yeah.
a lot of work.
Trust me, I know. I
right,
got
time to-
D6 Tumblr up too. Alright, next up is Desi. How you now?
I'm doing good. It's Jay the Firefox. Please, Dante, your changeling rogue paladin. I still have commissions open. I don't know how long I will be on Twitter, seeing how that shit's imploding. And Daito, I'm gonna have yours by tonight, or first thing in the morning. It's gonna be there. I promise.
No worries.
And nothing else.
Alrighty. Next up is Daito. How you doing, my man?
Yo, it's Dino, aka Bro, the half-orc samurai revenant. So this week, no KWC by the time it's upload. Well, there should be a KWC episode by the time it's upload on next Sunday. It's gonna be the Sada episode. Hopefully, we get that out. This week, I'm more than likely going to do a restore of my Nuzlocke stream with the sole purpose of beating Nessa. If I beat her, then I can't have stamina to continue. I'll continue the Nuzlocke from there. And that's about it.
Alrighty, and last but not least, our guest for this for these next couple of episodes, Uzu. How you now?
Yeah, that's me. Hey.
Hey.
So, hi, I'm Uzu, also Kelsey. But online you could find me under Rogue Uzu on Twitter, YouTube, and now Tumblr as well. I do a lot of art. I also have commissions if you want more art. And soon I will be having the next episode that everyone keeps on wanting from me. Of the next part of the D&D love story with my character Noella and the NPC Yasuhiro.
Alrighty.
So, it'll be great.
Alrighty. Nothing else? Nothing else standing?
I have a comic.
That's true, and I've been working with you on that.
Yeah, friggin' Yaro, who he does sound effects for me and is also a voice of a character, so you can check that out at nexusundergroundcomic.com.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that being noted, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. We love you very much. Stay safe out there, and as always, see you next Sunday. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good bye.